guys, Anna here. Welcome back to Builds with Anna. So today we are in the world of Oasis Springs and we are building a modern tiny home. So in terms of the shape, it was I just wanted to make it very boxy. As most modern homes are. But what I really enjoy about this home is that it has this really nice entertaining space, which we will get to. You'll see shortly. And it's just, I really, really did well with kind of the exterior of this build and the outside. It just, so nice. We did have trouble kind of with that floor plan. So what you're seeing here is I am very much adjusting shape of this build. I'm adding tiles. I'm trying to find out the best way that my 64 tiles look. And I believe this is the end. Yes, I believe so. So we are moving into roofing. So it really is just two roof pieces, which you're seeing here. So two gable roof pieces. And yeah, that's pretty much the roof. So very simplistic roof today. But most modern builds do have a more simplistic roof. And yeah, so we go with this kind of stone fencing. And this creates that kind of entertainment space. So as you can see here, we do it's got like a little entertainment place, and we'll actually do like a stone path that also leads to there. It just looks so gorgeous. I really enjoyed this build. So that was the outside, but the inside is very, very much inspired by some new DLC that I got. So I finally caved and purchased the Dine Out game pack. Now, the reason I had been putting it off is obviously it has a little bit, it's been prone to be a bit buggy. So I've actually not played with the pack, but the build items are so beautiful, like the assets. There's obviously that infamous plant that most people use in most builds, and I'm so excited to be able to use it. But there's just so many other items, like clutter pieces and stuff that are just so like elegant and modern, and I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So I do recommend that if you are a builder and you do a lot of modern builds, consider getting the Dine Out pack. Maybe if it's on a special or something. Alrighty, so let's move on inside. We are currently up to the floor plan. This, as I said, as I mentioned in my cottage tiny home Monday's video, all of the tiny homes in this series are all going to be 1x1s. So one bedroom, one bathroom. And that's just because I'm very much new to this tiny home building, and I just wanted to make it a little bit more simplified for myself. And yeah, so if you haven't yet seen the cottage tiny home and you enjoyed this build, definitely at the end of this one, go and watch that. Alrighty, so the color palette. So the exterior is that Dine Out kind of textured stone. Now, I did recently use that in another modern build I had built around the same time. So apologies for that. I just really like it. All right, so we are moving into the kitchen. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. The kitchen in this home is one of my favorite that I've ever built. I actually think it's so nice. Now, we don't have a dining table, but we do have island seating. So technically, the sim will be able to eat there. And it just has this elegance about it. You know, it's this monochromatic black and white scale. And I do use a lot of that in the house. There's a little bit of color that's injected, but I've used a combination of cabinetry and immaculate shelves in order to create some cabinetry, because normal cabinetry is just a little bit bulky. And I use these modular pieces from the high school years pack as a way to give a little bit of shelving, but to, change it up a little bit. So you've got some shelving, you've got some modular pieces, you've got some cabinetry, and it just comes together really well. It's one of my favorite kitchens I've ever built. And I mean that in sense of all of the houses I've ever built, this would definitely be one of those kitchens where I think I did a really good job. The bathroom was a bit funny because in modern houses you have those tall glass windows and you want to make sure that, for privacy reasons. So we did just go with a snowy escape kind of shower. You could use the university one as well. It had the same kind of effect, but I thought that would be nice for this kind of home. So now we're into her bedroom. So I do kind of lean towards a female sim for this home, and this is where we're getting a bit of color. So obviously there's some muted blues and pale yellow into her bed. And then there is some more kind of like the desk is a little bit dated. It's actually from the Werewolves pack, which is another new piece of DLC that I had gotten at the time. And I do kind of incorporate things from multiple packs. I just feel like some things go really well together. We did put tiny living in here because it is a tiny home, and I felt that wardrobe was it had some modern aspects to it. So, and it was also good at saving space. I thought these cupcake paintings were really cute, and I went with them because they were simple. And the blue was kind of matching the blue that we wanted to go with. But it also gave a bit of femininity, and I thought that was important as well. The island living curtain, it has a very simplistic aspect to it. And I just went with that because I thought it's girly, it ties in a bit more of the pink, but it's also such a beautiful curtain. So, and then I saw this wall decor orchid piece, and I was obsessed. I was like, I don't care where I'm putting this, it needs to go in the build. We do end up moving it closer to the bathroom. All right, so this is the living room. Now we are placing a wall decor piece. Now, when you have something like that where you're trying to alt place a wall decor piece and it's clipping to the back wall, you just remove the wall, alt place, and then draw the wall back. It helps. Now, I went with a sectional couch in this build because I really wanted to place that curved area between that wall decor just to kind of save room, but it just looks so beautiful. This is a really nice living room as well. A decent sized couch for a tiny home as well, just being able to use the space in that kind of way. We do go with a textured fluffy rug. Lots of plants in this house. Potentially she is very much for her plants. Maybe she's a sim who just lots of plants, lots of color, but it's on the back of a monochromatic look. So her bedroom's very kind of light and airy, and the rest of the house has got this kind of sophistication about it, and I love it. Such a nice house. I did just go with a simple kind of clutter piece from high school years. I really love that it's got the keys. Even though we don't have cars, it's just such a realistic item to have, like by an entryway to have like an item like that. So yeah. We do clutter underneath this coffee table. So this is a coffee table from Discover University. It's kind of in that IKEA-esque style. And yeah, I thought it would be a nice way to utilize the space. So when you're doing things in terms of like a small space, putting things vertically and underneath things and layering things is really how you're able to really fill and really optimize the space that you have. And like you're seeing here. So that's why all these shelving in the kitchen is so like desirable, because we're able to really layer and clutter the kitchen so that it looks very much lived in. And we use a whole range of packs in this build. So these tiny homes are not pack restricted. They're not budget restricted. They are just size restricted. They are just, just a bit of fun. Maybe in the future I will do like a budget restricted tiny home or what have you. But for this build, it's just, a tiny home to see what we can create. And I really enjoyed today's build. Like I really enjoyed. This would probably, spoiler alert, I would say this is my favorite out of the three. Out of the three that we do, this one here is definitely my favorite. I just think that kitchen is amazing. The living room is amazing. But this entertainment area sold me. This was like, when I realized that how I could create this, it clicked, and it turned out so lovely. So first of all, we draw in some garden beds with our smooth keeper fence. So as you know, I do this a lot. It's a way to kind of give like a faux garden bed. And as you can see, I've continued that same fence, that kind of stone fence, and I've just gone around and I've fenced a kind of pathway. Now, I did just place some quarter tiles. Now, how I've done that is I've pressed Control F, and that allows the full tile to go to a quarter tile, and you just fill in the section you need to fill in. And then when you're done, you press Control F and it will return it back to a full tile. So that's how you do quarter tiles in the game. And I've just done that there. So I've also then decided that one of the garden beds I'm going to just put some pebbles in, and we do just put a little bit of, I think they're ferns. So because it's a more modern build, the landscaping is, I would say it's more intentional. So what I've placed purposely. And there's a reason for where it's placed, it's a reason for its size. And I really do enjoy that aspect of landscaping. Sometimes it's better to have stuff that is all just very much, unorganized, and it can look a little bit more realistic that way, because especially if you're doing like a family home or anything that's in like a forest, it would look more realistic. But for a modern build, it just looks more intentional. So I kind of looked around and saw how there were these grouped palm tree kind of sections, and I thought, why not just mimic it? Because I really wanted the entertaining area to be the focal point of the backyard. I didn't want to add a pool. I didn't really want to add much to the back. So I thought using these grouped palm trees like they have in the surrounding area of Oasis Springs, it was just an easier way to utilize that space, and just so that it kind of blends in. And I had not done this before, but I think it looked quite well. As you can see, I'm just kind of copying with the surroundings, because this is in debug, so everything is everything is from the world, and lots of rocks. Rocks are great. I use rocks all the time to line things, to fill things, to make it look a little bit more full. And we are just going around with some terrain paint, some dirt, and it's just such a beautiful area. I really, really enjoyed how this one turned out. And it is for this outside. I think the exterior of this build is absolutely phenomenal. Alrighty, so now we're going into decorating this space. Now these are get to work little chairs, and I love these things. They just have an elegance about them, and I placed them there at kind of like the entrance of that walkway, and now we are definitely into around the back in the entrance place. So we've got a full patio dining. I think we've got a chess table. I use a glass table, again, modern builds. I absolutely love glass tables. So we don't have that dining inside, but there's a dining table outside. So there is still a decent sized dining table. I love the chairs from City Living for this. I think that they had a simplistic kind of design about them, but also it's like a proper black. Like sometimes you get black and it's not quite black, it's kind of a grey. These are like a jet black, and I really wanted that because it's flowing in from the inside of that colour. I do this all the time. A chess table on a diagonal. Something about it looks so nice. I'm just playing around with swatches here, just keeping it simplistic in colour. That is a dine out plant. Really lovely plant, might I add. And this is basically that outside space. I'm just going around with some outdoor lighting, as you can see. And so that is pretty much today's build, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought. Whether you enjoyed the build and what you enjoyed, and whether you think that I potentially should have placed a pool or something in the exterior of the build, or if you think that the grouped palm trees worked, and what have you. So now we're in the tour. It's a very quick tour, but so that's today's build. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.